Welcome back to the Shield Network. I am your host, Bad News Harris, and roll those credits because it is week 0, and next week we get some fun started. Welcome to week 0 of the 2023 season on the Shield Network. I know we're in the end of September. We're going into October, so I'm like 10 months late on this season, but what matters is I'm here now and I've got content. Point is next week we start on all new episodes, brand new content of everything, and I have episode zeros of everything this week. So we have a preview, and then we jump right into it. Today we are just going to go through Master Duel, because I had the intention on starting from scratch, and I deleted all of the save progress, but then it showed back up. So I said screw it, and I just turned it to a weekly duel thing. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go through the deck that I'm going to use for this season and see what we're gonna do about jumping from the lowest of rookie ranks, making our way upward. But let's check out that deck. Okay, I don't remember this deck having 42 cards in it though. See, in real life I'm not worried about having 42 cards, but I'm also not fond of it being digital, to be honest. However, to be fair, Space Typhoon is a lifesaver from time to time. Screw it, doesn't matter. This is the deck we're going to be using for the season. We're going to tinker with it here and there, but for now, this is what we're going to start with. We're going to start off with our typical, our staples outside of the actual deck theme, and that's going to be the triple maxi because, well, it's Master Duel and we can use it, so we're going to use it. Same thing with Ash Blossom because it stops my opponents from doing the shit I don't want them to do. And yes, in a deck that, you know, does pretty much nothing but discard, it hurts me a lot, but as you can see, I also have things that stop me from special summoning, and it's in my main deck anyway. I have a tendency of putting antithetical things into my deck, and they tend to work out more often than not. Maybe not more often than not. About half and half. Anyway, I've got the Summoner Monks in there specifically so I can summon myself Stefanos Soldanos, or a second Monk so I can Link summon. The False Soldanos are because special summoning is way too rampant in this game nowadays, and that, I mean, forces them to get rid of that before doing anything else. Love it, always gonna have it. Nibiru because everyone loves to overload their special summons, like I was just saying. So, boom! There's 2 of them in there. And then Lightning Storm, Ragaku for the obvious reasons, Monster Reborn for the obvious reason, and Space Typhoons for the obvious reason. Now to the core of the deck. Pun intended. Dragon Matrix. And yes, I run 3 of all of the Thunder Dragons in here because if you don't, why are you running the deck? Matrix, along with giving everything 500, I can search for it when I need to, after it gets sent to the grave or banished. Let's see, we've got the OG of the deck, Thunder Dragon. I almost never search for both of these at the same time, unless I'm going to use one to summon Titan, but that's what I've got the Ready Fusions in there for. Dragon Darks are in there specifically for the Ready Fusions and Allure of Darknesses because half of this deck is dark, and if you're not maximizing your draw without minimizing your special summons, then what the fuck is wrong with you? Dragonhawk. I don't care what anyone says, Dragonhawk is fantastic at 3 because a Magical Mallet is freaking awesome in this deck. Seriously? I hear Yu-Gi-Oh! Players complain about not having a Magic Mulligan all the goddamn time, but you're not gonna play a deck that allows you to mulligan? Yes, I realize Ash Blossom runs rampant, which will stop it. What? This entire deck baits out Ash Blossom. Choose your cards wisely. It's called Master Baiting for a reason. And then, of course, we've got ourselves the Dragon Roar, which is the perfect card to mix with Allure or Ready Fusion because it's useful for the draw or the summon, and then it summons right after, which, again, more often than not, leads into a Colossus. Let's see, triple Thunder Dragon Fusion. It actually works perfectly well at 2. But if you max out the Thunder Dragon Fusions, your Summoner Monks become more live, and then you can trigger their graveyard effects that much quicker. And like I was saying with Ready Fusion is in there so I can drop a Kaminari attack and use Kaminari attack to go directly into Titan using any of the Thunder Dragons in my deck. More often than not, it's going to be Thunder Dragon Roar because it gives me like a triple threat combo, but I'll also use it with Dragon Dark, get myself either Thunder Dragon or Fusion, because either way the ball is rolling at that point. Hell, I'll even use it with a Thunder Dragon Hawk just so I can mulligan around and try and raw pull the cards I need instead of trying to draw them with outside sources. Works wonders. Give it a shot. But we'll go on from the main deck. Extra deck. 15, of course. First 2 is Kaminari attack. I just explained this one. Ready Fusion, it goes right into Thunder Dragon Titan. Twin-headed Thunder Dragon, yes, he is in there because, one, he's not there to waste space, because if you don't have Colossus in your extra deck at the time, but you need a Fusion Summon or just something to get over the top, it is still 200 points higher than Colossus. That, and I've got quite a few videos on my TikTok and in my shorts on my YouTube of me summoning all 3 of these in one single turn, and almost all of those games I won the turn I summoned all 3. That, and I'm just a Kaiba fanboy. Colossus! Everyone knows what Colossus does. Everyone knows why it's forbidden in real life. I never got to play with it in real life. Titan! Big sucker. It blows things up. Just pitch, 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 pitch. It's also the best, or one of my favorite things, should I say, to bait out an Ash Blossom or hell, even a Max Seed, because most people think that once you start pitching your Thunder Dragons, you're just gonna start special summoning, and that's not always the case. A lot of the times you can just summon once, which, sure, will probably give them 1 card, but then you can just wipe their field with just the 1 card. Just body everything. Hyper Librarian is in here because I do have 2 level 4s that I can... no, sorry. I have 3 level 1s that I can sync with Ash Blossom, so I can... That's 4. Ignore that, I'm sorry. It's the Max D's I can sync with Ash Blossom, which I've done here and there, but I don't normally synchro summon after that, so... Catastrophe might be a better idea? Questions for later. Colossal Fighter, more often than I like to admit, I come across big ass either XYZ monsters or Link monsters that say this card can't be destroyed by battle, or this card can't be destroyed by card effects or whatever, and card effects are pretty much what I body things on before I start assaulting. More often than not, I'm going to keep saying that. And in times like that, and I can't get over something, I can't get through the something, and my cards can't take care of said something, then I have something to fall back on. I can sit there, I can use Monster Reborn and or Dragon Hawk to summon one of my level 5s, being either Dark or Thunder Dragon, and then I can use Ash Blossom to sync into one of my 3 level 8s. If I go into Colossal Fighter, he's just a wall that keeps coming back, so I don't have to worry about losing my life points every time. Stardust Dragon, because everything loves to nuke things, and when it comes to the Omni Negators, I've noticed nowadays, they say negate and destroy, and you know what Stardust does? He says no destroying. So, and then we've got ourselves Red Dragon Archfiend, because when people think they can defend themselves and stop losing life points just because they're, you know, swapping things horizontally, then I have the Master of Faster's big boy to knock on one and then bowl the rest out of the way. Moving on to XYZ monsters, since the majority of my big monsters are level 5, if I overlay them into Volcasaurus, I can nuke stuff and deal 1,000. With level 6s, I've got the Force Focus, so I can point at something and negate it. Then again, it's got to be bigger than level 4. Let's see, Gaia Dragon, so I can overlay on either of the other two and just pierce over things if I so choose, if I have the opportunity. I haven't had that opportunity yet, but then again, I rarely have the opportunity for the Synchro Summons too, but they're still there because they still happen. So I'm holding out hope for the day I finally get to summon my Gaia Dragon. Hell, I haven't even summoned Force Focus in here yet. I don't remember if I've used Volcasaurus, but Volcasaurus would happen more often than the other two. And then lastly, Predaplant Verte Anaconda, because he can turn anything on the field dark if I chose. I don't know why that's relevant. Not for me anyway. It's relevant for the opponents that use things like, oh, I don't know, Branded Fusion? Anyway, but effect number 2, where I can use it to copy either Thunder Dragon Fusion or Ready Fusion. That has happened before. Not worth using the extra 1,000 life points. But hey, I still won that game, not the point. Point is that here is the deck that we are going to be using this season. Let's go ahead and change the name so people watching won't make, or won't be so obvious. Nope. Let's see. Caps B. No! B. N. H. B and H YouTube. From my YouTubies. Then we go save. And just like that. Oh my, I've spent 20 minutes explaining a deck profile. Well, I've always wanted to do one for my Switch profile, so here it is. Remember, next week we start up with weekly duels, and we have new content all week long, all month long. So stay tuned and check it all out. Like, share, especially share. Subscribe, especially subscribe, and ring the bell. Do everything the bottom corners tell you to do. I'll see you guys tomorrow and next week for our next video. Bad News Harris out.